Do we need more hero shooters? Absolutely not. Would it still be fun to imagine how cool other franchises would look as hero shooters? Hell yeah. Marvel Rivals is the latest in a long list of hero shooters and MOBA hybrids, and for a variety of different reasons. Oh my sweet cheesecake factory! Oh. This one has seen a lot of success where others have failed miserably. Is it the free-to-play aspect? Is it the hero balancing? Is it the personality and slick character designs? Is it because my editor and I recently hit GM? Well, yeah, but it's also a teensy tiny other thing. It's a game that takes advantage of your love for the Marvel franchise, comics, TV shows, other games and movies, all your favorite superheroes you've grown up with, you get to play as. And it helps that no matter what role you play, tank, DPS or support, they all feel so fun to use. There are a ton of other popular franchises out there that have tried taking advantage of their roster popularity through video games, but you'll notice that they're mainly fighting games. Okay, maybe only fighting games, just a lot of good, old-fashioned fighting games. Look at Pikachu. This brother's a goddamn Mishima. So I wanted to use this video to imagine what it would look like if your favorite franchises were turned into hero shooters. So grab your popcorn, grab your butt cheeks, grab your anime body pillows. We're going to take a look at other hero shooters that could work well. This is pretty much a no-brainer. Where you have Marvel Rivals, you absolutely must have DC adversaries. No. Challengers. Okay, yeah. There are so many different characters to choose from, of course. You've got the Justice League, you've got the Teen Titans, you've got the Suicide Squad, you've got characters you've already put into games like Injustice, Lego Batman, Lego DC supervillains. There cannot be a more perfect time to manifest this idea into existence. DC are starting an entirely new cinematic universe from scratch, and it makes sense to take advantage of a side-by-side movie release schedule. Marvel Rivals have put in the Fantastic Four ahead of the movie coming out this year to take advantage of people who will go and seeing them for the first time. Shout out Jessica Alba, you were mine, Invisible Woman. They also have tons of skins from the MCU just for people who are fans of the movies and want to use them. DC have already put out a new Creature Commandos, with their Superman film coming out this year as well, with a lot of other movies on the horizon. Now let's talk the actual game stuff. I think you're absolutely spoiled for choice with the characters on here. No matter what role you choose, tank, DPS or support, each character is already so badass. It's just a matter of making them fun to play as well. Marvel Rivals did the smart thing by putting fan favorites in each role so you don't feel like you're missing out on playing the cool heroes, and making them all overpowered is pretty important too. Nobody wants to stand around with a healing beam all defenseless like Mercy. No, you want to erect a column of invisibility to make your teammates disappear. Come on! Imagine playing as Bane, Plasma, Cinderblock, Clayface, Darkseid as your main tanks. Okay, but what about the dive tanks? Gorilla Grodd, Green Lantern, Beast Boy, why the hell not? Your on-the-ground DPS? Flash, Joker, Robin, Catwoman, Deathstroke. Okay, what about the flying DPS? I got you. Superman, Red Lantern, Blue Beetle, Hawker. What about the snipers? Green Arrow and Deadshot. Okay, what about the supports? Poison Ivy, Starfire, Black Canary. Put Batman in there. Yeah, you thought I'd put Robin in support. Nah, no way. Put that damn utility belt to use, Batman. I think the kill interactions and team-ups would absolutely go crazy too. There's a small achievement for Hulk using his ult on Loki, which is pretty funny. So why not give everyone a mini heart attack by putting a Joker achievement for an interaction with Jason Todd that involves a crowbar? You can have Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn team up. You can have Batman and Catwoman or Robin, King Shark and Killer Croc, Reverse Flash and Barry Allen, where he jerks him off at super speed so it seems like he nutted at just a woman's touch! The hero designs should also be stylistically different from something like Injustice. I cannot stress how important it is for characters to stand out in a game like this. If they all look too similar, like something from Concord or Lawbreakers, you're gonna have a bad time. There's this neat art I came across on Reddit, and that's a style I totally dig. I'd love to see spins on Condiment King, or Peacemaker, or Zatanna, or Power Girl. Oh my god. I'm not sure why this doesn't happen, honestly. I feel like having these guys in a hero shooter... What? Is that a purple platypus? Brad the purple platypus!
So, a Pokemon hero shooter makes a ton of sense for several reasons. One, Pokemon is crazy popular to the point where its characters are more recognizable than Jesus, and in a concept like this, you've got over 800 Pokemon to pick from and sort amongst your classes. And as we've already seen with Pokemon, they can just hop genres. There already is a Pokemon fighting game in a MOBA, both of which I have admittedly put way too many hours in for a grown-ass man. The funny thing about a Pokemon hero shooter is that the blueprint for one is already here. The success of Pokemon Tournament and Pokemon Unite show that there's not only room for a Pokemon live service game, but a huge demand for a good Pokemon game in general. Please give us a good Pokemon game. But you might be asking how a Pokemon hero shooter would even work. And, well, Pokemon Unite serves as a skeleton for this idea. It already incorporates objective-based gameplay around a simple combat system. You have some moves and ultimate, capture areas, nothing that really blows the MOBA genre away, but hey, That's why it's a skeleton. Pokemon Tournament is where things get interesting. It was a fighting game with a gimmick that there were two phases to the battle. One which served as an arena fighter, and the other just a regular 2D fighting game, which is sick. This gives us the basis for real-time ranged and melee combat already good to go. It just takes combining these ideas, and I think there's something really special here. And this kind of goes without being said, but as far as rosters go, Pokemon has insane options you can choose from. That's not even getting into how crazy abilities and ultimates could be. You can have Dialga using Roar Time to stop people moving the way Strange does in Marvel Rivals. Greninja and Garchomp could so easily fit a Genji archetype, and you can even have Blastoise pop his Mega Evolution and launch a fucking cannon bolt of water onto an objective. And that's not even getting into how creative you could be with other characters like Ditto, Vaporeon, Lickitung, Miltank. Oh my goodness, Miltank. They'll have Lopunny, I'm sure, for reasons. And like I said before, they have the opportunity to do some really cool stuff with evolutions. Imagine there's a way to charge up your character or a thing you could pick up on the map for momentarily boosting your character. 1 second, you could be a support class Squirtle, dive to go get the booster, and suddenly the enemy team has to deal with a Blastoise for 30 seconds. It would not only be really cool, but incredibly dynamic gameplay. And that's not even getting me started on
Brad, give me back my channel.
Oh shit, I gotta go.
League of Legends is also one that's been on my mind for quite some time. I thought Valve might expand upon its own Dota 2 established universe, but they went ahead and started working on Deadlock. So I'm kinda hoping Riot eventually makes a hero shooter for their League characters. They've already proven that they want to expand upon their gaming repertoire. They made a Counter-Strike style shooter in Valorant. They're working on a fighting game in 2xKO. They have some neat little games here and there like Hextech Mayhem, Ruin King, Convergence. They've also gained a lot of popularity with Arcane and are already working on another animated series as well. I always felt like a hero shooter based on League's roster was a stone's throw away. The characters are already well established, the popularity is sky high, and if they make their characters pop and stand out stylistically from a MOBA point of view, then they can absolutely do the same when making a hero shooter. And maybe then you guys can abandon the toxic relationship you have with League of Legends. It's been 6 years of the same game. Let it go, man! I've got a few franchises that I think would make total sense as hero shooters, but nothing that might pick up traction to ever exist. Overwatch recently collabed with My Hero Academia, and while it isn't the greatest anime in the world, the use of quirks provides a more interesting perspective on the power scaling necessary for a hero shooter. A lot of characters have some really dumbass quirks, but heroes like Todoroki, Bakugo, and Midoriya feel like your mainstay characters, while people like All Might, Kirishima, Fat Gum make a decent case for your tanks, and the number of supports is almost laughable. But there are a ton of other different characters to choose from here. There are different schools, classes within the same school, and villains that could all be incorporated into a hero shooter. You have Lemillion, who phases in and out of objects, Froppy, who can ironically play like Spider-Man, Hawks, who flies and uses his feathers as swords, Twice, who can create doppelgangers, Eraserhead, who can erase people's powers. When you really dive into everyone's abilities, it's actually a pretty interesting idea. One Punch Man also seemed like a decent shout when I saw that collab with Overwatch as well, but the roster is still far too limited. So then I thought about Jump Force, which, if you're not aware, is an arena fighter that has tons of anime characters from all your favorite franchises. That makes a lot more sense to me. You get a variety of different abilities and playstyles, and can always exclude the characters whose powers just aren't as fun or powerful. The obvious caveat here is that most characters are melee oriented rather than ranged, which is probably why the idea for a brawler took precedence. But who knows? It just might work. A more fun one I thought of was a Cartoon Network All-Stars type hero shooter. This would be pretty neat. You get the Kids Next Door, Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, Generator Rex, Johnny Test, Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Samurai Jack, Adventure Time. There's actually a lot out there, and they all fall into the criteria of being easily recognizable, popular with multiple generations, and a variety of different playstyles. It would also have a ton of callbacks for longtime fans, plenty of personality, but then you need everyone to be one specific art style like that weirdo Fusion Fall game from a fucking lifetime ago, and the licensing might be a massive headache. One day I'll get my Ben 10 game. Hadouken!